Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Well, if you've been watching me, you know that I love pool noodles. Pool noodles are one of my favorite crafting materials. And so now, today, for you, I have got this adorable pool noodle poodle. That's right, it's a noodle poodle. And I'm going to teach you how to make it right now. So for this project, you're going to, of course, need a pool noodle. Now, pool noodles come in different shapes. This one is a flower shape, which I think works great for a noodle poodle, but you can also use the other round ones that are just straight across round ones. I've got my googly eyes. I need some pipe cleaners. Just one should be about all you need. I've got my glue dots. You can use hot glue, but the problem with hot glue and foam is it has a tendency to melt the foam. So it's much easier to use glue dots if you've got them. I got 2 straws here. These are going to be my legs. I'm going to be using one of these X-Acto knife / box cutters with a blade that slides out. If you don't have one of these, you can also use a serrated bread knife or any kind of knife that's long enough to go through the pool noodle. I've got my pencil, scissors, and my ruler, and of course a work surface. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my poodle noodle body. And so what I'm going to do is take my poodle noodle, and I'm going to make my poodle noodle about 4 inches. So I don't even really need to mark it. I just put my finger here. Now just make sure you're safe when you use your knife. What I like to do with my knife is just place it and then roll my noodle. And when I do that, I usually end up with a nice, solid, even cut. So I'm actually rolling the noodle. Now, I'm also going to cut myself some 1-inch pieces, and they can be between 3/4 and 1 inch. So again, I'm just putting my finger here, and I'm just going to twist my noodle, as I said, and do it again. And I'm going to make 3 pieces like this. These are going to become parts of my body, for my poodle noodle, or my noodle poodle. There we go. Now, for my poodle noodle, I need to add my head. Now, here's the great thing about these pool noodles. You can put pieces together by adding them into your, with your foam, with these little pieces of pipe cleaner. They work really, really well. So the first thing, though, that I want to do here is figure out my legs are going to go in these little grooves right here. So my noodle head is going to go right here in the center. So I've got my little pipe cleaner sticking out there, and that's only about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then I'm just going to place my head on top. And I can fold down any little pieces that stick out the top, or I can cut them. That's going to help to lock it into place. So now I've got my little head in place, and now I want to give him his frontal face. And to do that, I'm just going to take my flour noodle here, and I'm going to cut at junction number 1 and junction number 3, so that I get 1, 2, 3 little bumps. And I'm going to take 2 more snips of pipe cleaner, put 1 in the top here, put 1 in the bottom here, and now I'm just going to add those to the face. And they just slide right on in, and they're great because they keep everything in place. There we go. Now for the ears, I'm going to take this piece that's left over and cut it in half. Once again, going to use that handy dandy pipe cleaner. And there we go. And putting it on the other side. Bloot. Now for his little tail, I'm going to cut a double piece. So 1, 2. So I've got the 2 there. Cut my pipe cleaner. Stick this in the back end here. And stick on my tail. There we go. Now, I'm going to finish his face before I move on to his little legs, and I'm going to need my glue dots for this part. So I'm just going to peel my glue dots. I'm going to put 1 on each eye here. put it right down there a little bit. Now, like I said, you can use a hot glue gun if you want to. What you want to do, though, if you're going to do that, is put the hot glue on the eyes, let it cool for about 10 seconds, then apply it to the noodle. And that way it won't melt your noodle. Safety, keep that tucked inside. Okay, let's make a nose. So for the nose, I'm going to take one of those little pieces that's about 1 inch long, and I am going to fold it over to make a U. And I'm going to tuck that right in here to be the nose. And I'm going to do the same thing for the tongue, only I'm going to use what's left over here, which is about 2 inches long. Fold it over to make a little tongue shape, and just stick that right in there. Now I got my little tongue. Now for the legs, feel free to use whatever you've got on hand. Popsicle sticks work. I've got these straws, so I thought I'd use my straws. And what I'm going to do is just cut this in half here. And I believe that these straws are 8 inches long. Let's see here. They're actually 8 and a little tiny bit extra. I'm going to cut that little bit extra off to make these 8 inches. Exactly. And then I'm going to cut these at the 4-inch mark right there. Again, feel free to cut these smaller if you want to. You could have a stubby little Dachshund if you wanted to. Okay, now what I like about these flower shapes is that I can actually use these grooves as my placement. So I'm going to go right in the center. See this, right in the center of these grooves here, and make a hole and slide in. And on the opposite side, make a hole and slide it in. The pencil is great for making a hole. And then, you know, if you wanted to make him so that he's begging, you could do that, and then you could add another little leg like that if you wanted to. But I'm going to actually make him standing. So I'm going to take another one in the back here, and another one in the back here, and slide these on in. There we go. So now he's got legs, and he can stand pretty solid there. But the one thing that I think he needs is he needs some feet. And so for his feet, I'm just going to take this remaining bit of pool noodle and cut it. And it looks like I'm going to need one more little piece here. I actually have an extra piece over here. I'm going to use that. And again, what I'm going to do is just use my pencil to make little holes and slide it on to the foot. So the nice thing here you can see is you really don't need a lot of glue to make this happen. And hopefully this is giving you the inspiration that you can make actually any animal under the sun. The pool noodles really lend themselves to all different kinds of animals. Giraffes, dogs, cats, dragons, you name it. Oh, that one needs a little bit bigger hole. There we go. And one last foot in the back here. There you go. There's my little buddy. And there you have it, your very own Noodle Poodle. Now, just to show you another example of an animal that you can make, I made myself a little Noodle Elephant. And as you can see, he's got little golf tees for his legs. So remember, you can use anything that you've got around the house to make legs, noses, eyes, everything. Just have fun, get creative, and turn your noodles into critters like these. For more fun ideas with recycled materials, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com.